Hello, Jamie from Inky&Scrappy, sharing with you today some monster hugs. So this was one that was supposed to be done with my Get Creeping videos. I will link that one below because if you're interested in the backgrounds, that's where I made them. These are my color combos. I also had some coloring on that video if you're interested in Ohuhu marker coloring. The combo can be found on my blog at InkyandScrappy.com on the Ohuhu marker color combo tab. So I wasn't happy with the background I'd originally picked out, and I had to walk away because I was not loving it. The yellow monster just stood out like a sore thumb, and I was not happy with it. So when I came back, I was like, I have all these other ones that I did, so why am I so committed to that one background? And so I went through and searched, and I found this one that had a lot more brown and yellow. You know, the brown had a yellow tone to it. And so I was like, well, that one just went a lot better with, I could pull in that yellow monster, and he didn't look out of, I don't know, he didn't look so, like, in your face, out of place. And so I was content with just adding some more of that Aged Mariner Distress Oxide to spray on top of it. So I just splattered it generously, let it dry. It wasn't totally dry. I had actually gone through and done my other cards and came back to it, but it still wasn't totally dry, and I didn't hit it with the heat tool. I wasn't too worried about it smudging or smearing. It was an inky, you know, a gel print / inky background, so it was not a big deal to me if I smudged it. So I kind of figured out my layout, and then of course I wanted the things that were further in the back to be further in the back. And then I added some foam, different sized foam adhesives to my critters or my other monsters to kind of give some more depth and dimension to them. For foam, I have a bucket, not a bucket, a little ceramic bowl that my son made in pottery with like various sizes of, you know, like when you cut stuff down and you have a little piece left, it ends up in the bucket or the little bowl. And so I pull from it. It's got multiple different, there's probably like 13 different size thicknesses in there. Some of them are doubled up, some of them are tripled up, some of them are thin, skinny foam, some of them are, you know, thicker foam. It works nicely for that type of thing. So once I have my monsters placed, of course those two little monsters with the big eye need googly eyes. They were like a match made in googly eye heaven. That's what those monsters are going to have every time I make a card. If I can help it. Yeah. If I can put a googly eye on them suckers, they're going to get a googly eye. So for this one, I decided to stamp right on my background. Hold your breath. I did do, because it was the first time stamping with that set, I did do a practice stamp on a scratch piece of paper. Now, hot take, if it doesn't work, it's okay. I would have just come in with the banner and covered it up. That's how I roll. So it did work out fine. So the other thing with that one is if you're stamping with Distress Oxides, work a lot better than a Distress ink is going to work. Just I would say don't do Distress ink for stamping Distress Oxide because of that pigment property. Otherwise, VersaFine Onyx Black is always the best bet to go. The other thing is to let your stamp sit on the paper for a little bit, you know, without wiggling it, because it will seep in and hopefully transfer better. It's, you know, somebody sent that tip or felt, you know, I've heard that tip somewhere, and it does definitely help. So I had pulled out a couple of different, I was planning on using the mirror ones, and then I brought in the other ones, and ultimately I liked, because the Sending You Monster Hugs, I just felt those black licorice hearts from Trinity stamps worked perfectly with that sentiment, and I was planning on this one being kind of an encouragement card. It might be a little, it's not really Halloween-y at all, in my opinion. So I did have a beautiful day on the inside, and then of course another one, and then I'm going to pull in a different color ink. I like to use multiple colors of ink on my inside if I do more than one of the sentiments. So I think you're neat. Have a beautiful day. I just felt that one went with my front of my card. So because these were gel prints and some of them were not laying the most flat, I like to do that full adhesive backing. It's just, I think it's Couture, Custom Couture or something like that is the brand on it. It's a little smaller than an A2, like a little smaller than 5.5. So I think it's 5.25 or 5. I don't remember. 4. I think it's 4 3/4 wide. It's kind of an odd width, but it works well to do the full panel on it, and that will help those things stick flat. So there is my completed monster hug card. Just a quick one today. I hope you have an amazing Monday and keep getting inky. Goodbye.